Oi, oi. Welcome back to the Martin Liedtke channel. This is flat a day late on Sunday, the 2nd of November. Where did this year go? 2025, or so they say. So it is me, your host. I'm just going to have a comms check. 2025, or so they say. So it is me,
1 2 1 2.
Just going to have a comms check. So yeah, what have the Romans ever done for us? That's what we're going to look at. I think it's all just a narrative and operation in avoiding anything to do with the Phoenicians, as you will see. And what is really going on with a reset. That's what we're going to talk about in this post. Just give me a second to check my audio things. So yeah. Oh. 1 2 1 2. So yeah, just changed my microphone. That other thing was this tinny shit. So today I am Marticus von Aberava. Well, that actually sounds absolutely rubbish. What is going on here? Is it really low? Otto, what's going on with my volume? Tell me if everything is going through me. Wow, that is really fucking weird. Just give me a second. Bear with me, people. Orientate yourselves in an orderly fashion. And I'll do my thing. Do my thing, do my thing. Keep me rocking and a sing is what I am going. 1 2. Wow, that is super low. I wonder what's going on with that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, beautiful people? Sounds like I'm 5,000 miles away on my laptop. Yeah, it sounds shit. Really does. Excuse me. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, I need to really sort my microphone out. How's that? Low and tinny. Give me a second. Stay there, people. Don't go away. This will take like literally 2 minutes. Make sure to share this out. Yeah, so this is my New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolution will be 1080 HP. 1080. And excuse me. One, two, 1 2. Can you hear me now? That should be a lot better. What do you think? Let's get rid of it. 1 2 1 2. Oh yes, infinitely better. Infinitely better. Let's get rid of that. So yeah, I am back. Nothing is ever easy in this realm, but we get there in the end. It's YouTube. Thank you. Yep. Thank you, Otto, my brother. A big kush. Good to see you, my man. Time for the juice. Yeah. So what have the Romans ever done for us is what we're going to talk about. Been pushed by the movies. The biggest first motion picture ever produced was Cleopatra. Cesar B. Mills epic, 250,000 extras, just the most fabulous film. But they have been pushing that since, I would say, the expositions. Before then, I don't think there was too much Rome going on. In fact, I know there wasn't. In fact, they're not really a superpower as they are portrayed in the modern day. There are reasons for why they portray Rome as the all-powerful empire. All roads lead to Rome, they tell us, don't they? What have the Romans ever done for us? Well, they built straight roads, Reg. Well, they never. They're really wonky. They give us sanitation, Reg. Sanitation. Remember what the city used to be like? They brought us fresh water. They brought us law and order. Our legal system. Oh, is that the case? Is that the case? Have we got the Roman infrastructure of society? No, no. We are speaking phonetics, which is the language of the Phoenicians. We are under maritime law, the law of the masters of sea, the Phoenicians. So why is it Rome and not Phoenicia? I've got a history book here. This little one is, excuse me, a Nelson's history practice book, a history book from 1910. It's an Edwardian book, which I vandalized with biro pen or marker in my youth. But it starts with, because this is the history of the world, because nothing else really matters. It's just apparently Britain. And it says, number one, the first picture is a Roman galley. In the beginning, there was the Romans. So no infrastructure or anything in Britain. It was the Romans. Now, where I live in Cardiff, the Roman, precisely, Bob. Where I live in Cardiff, this place is covered in Roman shit. Now, it's not built by the British or the Welsh or the Celts or the Druids. It is Roman. Give it to the Romans. Now, there's weird narratives behind the whole Roman invasion anyway, which I think is fabricated. I'm going to run a narrative by you tonight and some pictures to go with it, and there'll be images of the day and all the usual flat earth British giggly stuff along the way. So, but first, a little chat about things, because that's what I like to do on the beginning of these vlogs. I won't keep you long. What I want to talk about is, Dawn. That's what I want to talk about. Hiya, Dawn. Much love. Good to see you. Yeah. So, what I want to talk about is this new age that's coming in. What, you know, out of one age into another, what they call it, golden age of Kali, into Kali Yuga. We're going into another age right now. That is obvious to any of us. And they say this is the apocalypse, the lifting of the veil, which means that we will be able to see the illusion, which is what it is. It's an illusion. All philosophies reach that same point, that this is an illusion. And at the moment, we're under attack from the powers that should not be's latest tool called AI. Okay, which is feeding everyone brainwashing narratives, telling them what to do with their lives and butting its nose into people's existences. It's a really peculiar thing. I asked AI on my last post, what was the greatest lie? And he said, some people think the earth's flat. It's like, it knows exactly knew who I was, like my channel's Flat Earth British. So literally a gaslighter too. Yeah. Sarah Connor, yeah, in the movie Transformers, Terminator, Transformers, robots in disguise. She wouldn't have had any of this. It would have been outlawed anyway. So yeah, knock yourself out with the old AI mind control. Soon your eyes will be like you've been on a fucking ashram. Yeah, you've been on an ashram for like 6 months. You'll have eyes like saucers. Yeah, completely fucking brainwashed by Ushu fucking culty behavior, because that's what goes on, isn't it? And they all go like that. And AI does it. AI does it. It makes them look like they're cult victims when their eyes all pop out their fucking heads because they can't think for themselves anymore. You know that one? Well, social media is really good at that, you know, guys. That's why it's good to come to Flat Earth British, because I'm going to give you the narrative, all the evidence to support it, and it is just my narrative. That's what I'm doing here. I overwhelmingly think that the historical narrative is missing out, especially with the origins of Britain. The Hittites, they don't mention anything to do with Sumer or the Sumerian Empire, and they cut out the Phoenicians completely from the entire narrative, even though we speak their language. Okay, whatever. So, thank you, Hippie Shakeage. So, yeah, I didn't do a live yesterday. I just got off of... the heliosexuals don't have any proof. well, they're all butthurt, aren't they? They keep saying the same thing over and over, year after year. I've been down every rabbit hole I have, guys. I've been down so many rabbit holes. I've been down more rabbit holes than most people, I would say. And that when I get to the end, hire a new West reset. This is the conclusion. The only conclusion that I can make is that all is mind, and it's what you think it is. And don't attach your awareness to any culty behavior, because social media is smothered in MK Ultra mind control operations by the powers that should not be. And it is dark, and it's dark forces, and it's icky, because you know it when you come across it, and it's not good for your spiritual growth, which is what I'm doing. It's what we're all doing together, aren't we? You have to admit. So how am I coming along with my spiritual growth? Okay. Now, I don't think I have to reach, this is just me. I don't think I have to reach a point of enlightenment like what some of these gurus go on about, because I think I was born enlightened, and I think I've been enlightened and self-realized since I was a teenager. So I don't think I need to reach that point of enlightenment. So there's that. And my spiritual progression, well, it is all about strict mental processes, isn't it? Which is what I've been practicing with my mental experiment, which is, again, I'm getting it right because it's based on what I want rather than what I think I want. So what do I really want? Well, I really want to be free and a peace of mind and feeling well and just bringing love into the community. Not, just doing that and just, I don't know, fucking no expectations. Just take it as it comes, baby. Take it easy, baby. Take it as it comes. Don't move too fast. You know what I mean? So I'm just doing that. And that's the point I've reached now, is I don't claim to know anything. Not pushing anything or doing, I'm just don't know. It's all bollocks. It's all bollocks. It's all AI anyway, isn't it? And it's all narrative. So what's it about? It's about, the whole thing is about the flow of information, ciphers and getting the key. So being able to see it, and who controls the narrative. And that's it. So we're going to look into Rome and the Roman Empire. Just do a boo. Well, I'll do a boo then. Boo to the powers that should not be and all of the icky things. But again, I'm grateful. And this is why I'm grateful. Okay. Because if it wasn't for the people that suck, how would we learn? We need them. We need the sucky people, because we got to learn how not to be. It's like, well, that's going to hurt you later. And we're going to, so we learn, and I'll just be spiritually better. Myself, I've learned some stuff about me. You have to be careful where I put my energy, because apparently I've got like a pretty sensitive soul. So I have to protect it at all costs. So there's that. So, which is probably really hazardous for somebody in the truthing game. But when you get a complete stranger coming up to you in a convention and saying to you that I've changed their lives for the better and they don't know how to thank me, what more can I say? There's just no more than that. That is my reward right there. That is how I know I'm getting somewhere. And I had that dozens of times this year, guys. I swear to God. I had dozens of people coming up to me at conventions and meetups saying that I completely changed their life for the better and thanking me. I'm like, fuck me. Whew. I wish I could use that same magic on myself. Be careful what you wish for. That's another thing, is be careful what you wish for. So the only thing that conclusion I've come to, thank you, my beautiful mate Otto, is that it's going to be bumpy in the transition, and this is the bumpy period. Okay, they're probably going to have a big war, is my suspicion, and they're going to have a big change in reality. It's probably going to be you know, have to give them all your details just to even go on the internet. So the internet, a lot of people are going to drop off it. I'm lucky in the sense of my creativity that I have my own archive and I get nothing off of online. Google has no information anyway. And ChatGPT and all of the other AI just talk a lot of bollocks, and it's sinister, and I don't like talking to it. It's really, really bossy. It tells you what to do. So I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should do that. It's like, why don't you go and get fucked? Is what I think. What fucking cheek. See, at school, I couldn't be told what to do. Growing up, I couldn't be told what to do. Yeah. And I get to a point when there's AI fucking ruling the universe. Yeah. And it's being bossy and it's trying to tell you what to do. Fucking good luck with that. So there's that. Are you London, man? See, the thing is something's happened to me. I guess it's when you like a captain of your own ship and you step into your own sovereignty. And I feel pretty good about myself as well in the regard of all of the shit show that goes on YouTube that everyone does. They all like flounder, really, from my perspective. Yeah, I've still managed to keep my credibility and my dignity in place. So there's that. So I'm happy about that. That's another great reward as well, despite all of the absolute fucking bullshit that comes at me constantly. So there's that. So yeah, I feel good about that. And I feel good about the community. And I feel that there is something underlying the whole thing that's happening here, which is good. I'm not in the camp of this place is just torture and that it's all bad and they're going to kill us with this and kill us with that. I'm sorry. I think something else is going on. And why does it all have to be bad? Why do we have to auto-hoax every fucking thing that they're going to get us? Maybe we're being protected and maybe they're not out to get us. And maybe this is just a vetting process, yeah? Where they just don't want any old shit turning up at their door when this is over, the transition from this place to the next. Because I'm not in this this idea that this place is a loop of torture, looping over and over again. The soul trap is maybe if you think it is, it will be for you. You'll be locked in some tesseract for eternity. For the free-minded person that can think for themselves, that doesn't have other people thinking for them, which is something else I've been very, very careful with. You get a sense of freedom in the sense that you're not in the matrix, you just recognize it, so you don't get the icky vibe. When I stand in my own sovereignty and these things, these entities try to attach, I can instantly recognize it. It comes in all the time. And plus, I've got, you know, multiple personalities and I got a psycho in the back of my head. We all have. But he's telling you stupid shit. But I got that down. I really have. I got control over it, which gives me clearance and balance. And not only that, I think to be holy, I think the word to be holy is to be whole. Holy, whole. And I think I'm getting there with that feeling of being whole. Like I don't really need worldly things anymore. And I've reached a stage now where I'm not in no hurry with it. And that I know in my heart that all is going to be okay. And I don't need to worry. And I'm not going to worry. And I won't have anyone worry me. And I won't have anyone think for me. I think for myself. That's why I don't bother with YouTube. Yeah, I know that. So being present is something I've been struggling with. Because of the mundane nature of existence, and I like having a lot of excitement in my life, I drift off, man. I drift off. And it's an escape mechanism. It's just like this place sucks that much that I've created an escape mechanism in my mind that I can just go off and write a book over here. I'll just write a book over here, or I'll do a puzzle over here in my mind. Well, all of the chaos and bullshit is happening all around. Of people talking shit about shit, people with icky vibes and they don't even know why, people saying things that they don't even know what they mean. and everything against everybody else, opposition, and nobody is doing the proper spiritual work or the spiritual journey in this place. Hardly anyone is doing that. Even if they say they are, and believe you me, guys, I've been to all of these meetings and all of these places, and I've met plenty of people that stated they were like gurus and highly enlightened beings, only to find out they were fractured individuals and highly corrupted, which is always the case with these people who claim these things. The humble man, the humble divine entity is apparent to everyone around them. They don't need to project it. They don't need to talk about it. They just be it. They just be love. Yeah, and that is what comes off. It just comes out of you. It's an electromagnetic charge. It's love, unconditional love. Anyway, let's get into the juicage. Well, fractured is just one. Yeah, it is, to put it nicely, but you know what I'm saying. And this is what I'm encountering a lot. I can identify it, I can block it, and I can get myself out of it. But can't attach to anything like that. Any fractured beings. It's very drawing on me, or tries to be drawing on me, but I got it down. So yeah, keeping your energy, and I need my energy for my creative arts and my research, which is also important to me. So let's get on to the Romans. What have the Romans ever done for us, guys? Well, let's have a look. Now, contemporary society or contemporary movies, nothing better than Monty Python's The Life of Brian to tell us about what goes on with the Romans. Here they are. Striking centurion, very worthily indeed. Yeah, you can see the Romans bashing on the mistaken identity, Brian, who is not really the Messiah. And they should know because they followed a few. Anyway, so as you can see on here, Romans are considered to be, for outward persona, white people, Caucasians. But if you actually research Rome, you will find out that the Romans were in fact Arabic looking, Mediterranean looking. They were very dark people, swarthy people were the Romans. You can look on the paintings of Pompeii and you will all see what the Romans look like. They are dark people. They were all different countries, mostly from the Eastern Mediterranean and North Africa, and they were not Caucasian people. But the Phoenicians, however, they were. So, yeah, this is what's happening in society at the moment, why society is at flux in Britain, on the verge of civil unrest. And it is the same old narrative that's been going on apparently all this time. Are you the Judean Popular Front? Fuck off. We're the Popular Front to Judea. It's exactly the same in the modern day. Exactly the same narratives going down, okay, for a fake civilization, okay? And it is humorous that Donald Trump is actually turned himself into a Roman emperor. He's got the hairdo, and except for the laurel leaf on his hair, he's got that down face that I think that he's taken off of a Roman bust, maybe Caligula or one of the other pervy ones, maybe Titus or something. So yeah, they're all Roman emperors. They like to say they are, but everyone is like, well, who's doing this stuff? Well, yeah, but what is so funny about Bigasticus and his wife Incontinatuous buttocks? I don't think that's funny. Why do you titter so? Are you wagging me? So yeah, obviously everybody knows that the Romans are pompous, faggy. They have strange deities and gods, which they are different personifications of gods that already existed. And this would be the people of Britain. Okay, so we just walked around all day, banging heads, going No, we never. No, we never. You've all seen Hobbits. We're like hobbits, we were. Yeah. And he's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. And that's my advice to you today, guys. Okay. if you like the way you want to live it, but he's not the Messiah. He's a very, very naughty boy. Okay, so go away. Not now. So Latin as well. The language not spoken anymore, but it's the language of the Romans. It's the language of the Roman Catholic Church. Domine de Patre. And they use it in horror films when exorcising demons. It says Domo mum there. But I think this is a changed language that was initially part of the 123 alphabet language of Tartaria. In fact, I think it all was. So here is the Spanish Inquisition, and they have, with the Jesuits, and all roads lead to Rome, and the narrative for the Holy Roman Empire, Constantine and Christianity, and everyone thinks that that is real, when in fact, it's just a narrative. All will be explained now. Yeah, what's so funny about bigger stickers? Anyway, they tell you in the movies, don't they, that it is actually bullshit. They tell you in the movie Life of Brian, definitely. So here is engravings, plenty of awesome engravings by Piranesi. And you can see this dude, this Roman dude, with what looks like a bazooka over his shoulder. This is the fasces. And as you know, if you watch my channel, that is the most dangerous weapon that was ever created. And the Romans definitely used it. Or whoever they were, the classical world. So here's Brutus here, who was apparently, some people say, is where Britain got its name. Other people say it is Brit-tin, but who even knows? So Rome, the empire that never was. So Rome was never a civilization or an empire. Okay, it was a fabricated echo, okay, to hide the true architects of the ancient world, who were the Tartarians, who got completely and utterly wiped out in a reset, as did the classical world. You can see an engraving here of the holy weapon that is the Ark of the Covenant. So you will see the fasces, you will see electromagnetic technologies. You can see the Romans here carrying the fasces. And it's all over their iconography, their architecture. But what they don't tell you is that it's connected to Phoenicia. Also, this fella here, if you've been following my channel for years, this one here is the Faceless Knight. It's the cover of my first book, The Holy Grail of the Flat Earth. Is an enigma behind this knight. I wonder why that doorway's blocked off behind. He's absent of matter. And I think that this is just a sign of what the fasces weaponry will do, turn you to dust, organic matter. So here is the extent of the Roman Empire. As you can see, North Africa, most of Europe, which is the same footprint almost of the traders who rule this world, the Phoenicians, who are not here now. I think they're off world. What I mean by that is I think that they're over the ice wall or in another place. So what happened was this, right? Which they don't tell you in the history books. They don't tell you anything about the truth about the Phoenicians. So these things, now I've already done a decode on the Colosseum, okay? And I think this is a water structuring device along the lines of a Searle machine. Now, when this bit of antiquity was started up in the late 1700s, apparently they took hundreds of tons of steel banding from around the whole stadium. So I think that this was a device. Also aqueducts. Now remember, the Phoenicians are the masters of sea. So they're purifying, they're structuring the water. They got fountains everywhere. This isn't a Roman attribution. This is the Phoenicians, the kings of water. Aqueducts, again, the Phoenicians. The roads. Well, they're not exactly straight, are they? Because I've got a Roman road here, literally 2 minutes away. The A48, although it is straightish, it does go this way and it does go that way. Another thing you'll see is a lot of legends of giants. This is Alexander the Great, not a Roman, a Macedonian. So what is Northern Greek, being the most powerful man in the world? I do not know. Anyway, the Romans came in after a reset, what they say, okay? Well, I think these are the Phoenicians, and I think that they came from the sea. I think they came in off ships. And they landed early in Britain. I mean, infinitely, so many years, like maybe hundreds of years before the apparent landing of Julius Caesar in Britain. Now, I've got a book that will tell you when Brutus was going up the Thames, when he reached Londinium, there was a large city and commercial centre already up and running with amazing buildings that the Phoenicians had already put in place. But I don't think the Phoenicians themselves built a lot of this stuff. I think that after reset, because, you know, like this Greco-Romano temple here, for example, guys, I can guarantee you, if you took the facade off the front of that, it would be red brick underneath. They're all red brick underneath, shown so much evidence that it is true. So there was a British Phoenician, okay, or Brito-Phoenician society. And the priests were engineers, and they used ley lines. They used the old methods of communication, church machines. And I think the Romans corrupted their dialect through phonetics, the Phoenicians. And I think that the tongue originally was used in old world Tartarian temples of Britain. Now, the so-called Roman Empire post cataclysm, and I think that this year, when they ruin an area, I think that they go in a procession, and this thing here again is the fasces, and they're carrying an eagle, wings open, active charge, and even a lion on a shield, lion, ion, all show you that it's electromagnetics, and they are resetting the world with these objects. The Phoenicians are. So there is the Republic of Rome, and the Romans with their apparent Romans with the fasces. Okay. So I think what happened post reset is they come in, okay, and I think they did after reset rebranding of society. An imperial makeover. See, this is what the Romans are, and their gods as well are a bit on the dodgy side, and their practices, their Bacchusite practices, which is what contemporary stuff is all about, isn't it? There they are again with the fasces. So an imperial remake of a shattered Tartarian networks. So that would include, wait for it, the star forts. That would include what they call Roman forts. You can see the Phoenician nose anyway. It's a bit knobbly, but it's not got an indentation there. The Phoenician nose is straight. That's how I know I would recognize a Phoenician if I saw one, is by this nose, the straight nose, which you see on all their statues. So here they are coming into a procession. Just took over a civilization. And again, with some sort of Caesar who's a Bacchusite, angelic help, and the Faceless Knight, who is ever present on architecture, along with the fasces. So infamy, they've all got infamy. So there's Constantine, the first Christian apparent overlord of Rome, which brought in Christianity. So long before the Caesar's fictional landings, because I don't not buy in that they even landed. You've got the narrative that Augustus went to land in the south, but he was met by a load of naked Celts, all in purple, yeah, with erections. Now, I don't know if that's bit's true, but, you know, for the Romans. Anyway, so the purple stuff was belladonna, deadly nightshade, which has psychoactive properties when administered to skin. So that is what the Celts were doing, tripping waiting for the apparent enemy. So here they are. They come in on floats. This is the Phoenicians. You've got the laurel leaf. Also this leaf here. And they sort of show you that they got some sort of angelic help. Now, remember, the Romans are attributed to wiping out the Druids. So apparently the narrative is the Romans have gone up to Anglesey in North Wales to execute the last remnants of the Druids and burn them. And apparently there are no Druids left, the original occupants of Britain. And while this was happening, apparently Boudicca, if you like, and the Essene sack St Albans, Colchester, Londinium, burn them to the ground, sack them, while the Romans were away apparently murdering the last of the Welsh. So I don't think that happened. Obviously, you'd never be able to get rid of all of the people of this island. The Phoenicians are Caucasian. The Romans are not as such. They are dark and they are Mediterranean looking and swavy. Okay, what they call swavy, which is dark. So the Romans, they came here, they built a wall up in the north so they didn't have to deal with the Scots. That was a wise move because they would have had a terrible time trying to take them lot out. So if it was the real narrative. So I'm not satisfied with the Gallic annals or Caesar's writings, etc., for a narrative that Rome was a real thing. Like I said, the early history books is very, very sketchy with the information anyway. And it just comes along in the 1800s, part of the education system. They do not teach you about the Druids of this country, of this land, and the Celtic priests. Okay. But what came after, there was a homogeny, I think, of the Phoenicians and the Druids, and they were like techno priests, and they advanced existing magical forms, but then that got corrupted somewhere along the line. I don't think maybe even the Phoenicians were bad in the beginning. Something happened, and then they became just like Marxists. They just corrupted on society using drugs and alcohol and everything that they bring in through the ports. Anyway, and I think that I think that in this place as well, in the reset, there would have to be, there are orders, sacred orders of people who are custodians, guardians of the real information, the old world information, the information that will be needed to carry on into the future for what they need. That will be a really important tool to have and a knowledge to have. Never mind everything else. That's all bollocks. That's what we need. I tried to project my mentality, my mind, 10 years into the future. And every time I try to do it, I get, whoa, back. I just can't see how this is going to pan out. Unless it's the way I just said earlier, it's going to be bumpy. We got to weather it. It's not going to be about us, and it won't bother us. It won't bother us. But the world is going to be in a massive flux. Okay. And the people who are in it, which is mostly all of them, hopefully it won't be a too heavy a price to pay for them. But I feel that they are going the wrong way, and they've made a bad error in judgment with judging our brothers and sisters, no matter where they are from. And all of that is, there's strict laws, soul laws here, guys, about shit like that. And people don't realize they're doing it. It hurts me to see them doing it. You're like, well, you don't even know what you're doing and how bad that is for you, especially with your spiritual growth. Anyway, I just lost it there completely. What we're looking at here is a Lee Van der Haar Atlas from 1733, and to show you the Colosseum. Now, what you find in these books is they show you what is a real history. So in 1733, okay, French, oh, these are Dutchmen actually from Leeds University, Pierre Van der Haar and his brother, Lead. Leeds University. What you find is a post-reset world. Everything is in mud, and any little allotment like this, where you see shattered remains, because the classical world was utterly destroyed and melted, a lot of it. So there wasn't only a mud flood, there was some sort of plasma event, but that makes perfect sense, because if you get down to the nitty-gritty of it all, that's what we are. Imagine they give us plasma when we need hydrating. So yeah, so the Colosseum, I think, was a water tower. I was posted on my old channel, but these atlases are absolutely fantastic. So they're not really giving you the significance in these of, oh, this was an amazing culture that ruled the world, biggest culture ever. They brought all civilization and democracy and law and order to all of the world, which was Europe. That's not actually true. It's not true for the Iberian Peninsula, because I think you can attribute all of their gains to the Moors, which weren't the Romans. And another thing they do as well is they say, oh, there's no Rome in America. There's like nothing Roman in America. It's like, well, they say there's no Sumer in America either, or any existence of the Egyptians or the Hittites. But yet when you research it and you look into it, see this Phoenician boat and the water. Look at all the mud down that street. What kind of street is that? A muddy street. And you find that, but the fact is in 1930, I'll show you a couple of photographs, Benito Mussolini ordered for the city of Rome to be dug out of the mud because it was still mud flooded. In the 1930s, this great civilization, right, that nobody gave two hoots about in the past. Let's have a little look at some of these awesome pictures. So I can link this book up, and you can see that Rome used to be. Oh, this is Città d'Avaccia. I've actually been here. This is the port for Rome. I've been here twice. I used to dock here. I can't pronounce it properly. Città d'Avaccia. And there was a fort here. This fort here, which was built by Leonardo da Vinci, designed that fort. So apparently Leonardo da Vinci was designing star forts. I was literally docked right there next to this fort. In the late 1980s. So yeah, that's the port for Rome. And look at Rome is protected by a giant wall. And you can see it's all allotments. And all the allotments are outside as well. Growing food is the main thing, I gather. And a lot of these towers that you get in Bologna, a lot of these towers, which are essentially skyscrapers, aren't they? Tower blocks. So they've gone since 1733. But what you do see is these piles of mud everywhere. These are awesome, these books. I've had so much joy going through these books and discovered so much. And it gave me Antiquitech, because, you know, we were looking at the horizon line of some of these buildings and thinking, Jesus, why is everything sticking up in the air? And then it dawned on me. And then boom, all the rest. Look at that size of that for a building. Temple of Fortune. Right, okay. I'm not sure if that actually stood or stands in the modern day. It is a monster. Okay, let's move on. And like I said, with the gardens, that got a big thing in the 1700s, was geometric design gardens, mazes, perfect symmetry, perfect geometry. That is something the emperors want. It's part of their thing. The emperor's thing is symmetry and balance, I've noticed. But I think, guys, and it's just me, I think there's a good power in the background. watching all of it. I do. I really do. It's not all about killing us. I don't think it is anyway. I'm not going to believe that's the case. That's just stupid. Because you got, you got to put your mind where you. Right, it's cut off. They always do that. Anyway, let's move on. So, Mudluge Rome. So, there are photographs, and many more of these existing, of the 1930s, where you can see that all of Rome was deep in mud until they decided to dig it out, or Benito Mussolini did. And then all of this shit was all left on the floor. And all of that stuff is basically just the existence of the shattered classical world. What shattered it, and how come it's all laying about like that? Or I would say water and some sort of biblical flood. So look at these blocks of flats. Would you think that they were Roman blocks of flats? Well, I've been in a Roman block of flats, and they said it was 6 stories, something like that. The people were giving birth and all that 2,000 years. I was like, wow. Put an aircon in here, you could live in here in the modern day, and it was supposed to be 2,000 years old. Bullshit. So yeah, they got all the mud out and showed the world in the 1930s. Before that point, nobody really gave a shit. Look at this. And now all we get is, oh, it's the Romans, and every narrative is some of the Romans. And I don't like it for this reason, because it robs the British people of their heritage, you see. If you hand it over to some entity that they made up, namely Rome, and rob all of our skill as the master building race, which we built all of that shit. Not the fucking Romans. Really annoys me, it does. What did they do? Nothing. Rowed boats for the Phoenicians, like Bob said, the Romans. This, probably a Phoenician enclave. Rewriters of history. They rewrote history, guys. The Phoenicians rewrote history. They redone the maps as well. They redone the maps as well, because some of the earlier maps, like Pierre Reese maps, show you a ice-free Antarctica. So there's that. Yep, digging all the mud out. As you can see, it was all deep in actual mud. So yeah, I think there's a distinct possibility that the Phoenicians themselves were descendants or survivors of the fabled Atlanteans, because the similarity is just too much. They're sea peoples, mystical sea peoples, disappeared off the face of the earth. We haven't even got a land for Phoenicia outside of Phoenicia being Lebanon and Israel in modern day, the Levant. Previous to that, they were the sea peoples without a nation. And then they made progress in the way of running all of the trade routes and trade, and then the language. So they changed the language into magic spells and the maritime law, which we're under. So if you look into old Celtic coins, you'll see pre-Roman Britain, we had nice coins. And not only that, they had a classical theme. If you Google it, they'll say it's because of the Greeks. They had interaction with the Greeks. You can see these are Celtic coins pre-Roman with already a classical theme. Also, a Nordic theme, because I think that the Norsemen themselves, with the Thessalians, I think that the Norsemen were Buddhists. I think they were spiritual. I think that they settled here and then eventually went to northern France to become the Normans. And then apparently the Normans came here 1,000 years ago, 1066, take over the country. And these Frenchmen, who are very, very white, apparently were originally Norsemen who were from the north, or also Aryan descendants types. So the only conclusion I can come to is, there's the Phoenician nose, is the Phoenicians are from another place, which I suspect to be Hyperborean, or possibly over the ice wall, but I think the north, because Scandinavia and its location, and then you got all the Norsemen, and then you got all of the white races in the northern band of the world, or the middle bit, you see. Maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, ancient Celtic coins are super interesting. You can see that you get mermaids, which is what I think could be happening. Why not? They tell us evolution is, oh, we came out of the water, turned into a lungfish, got struck by lightning, then we sprouted like legs and arms, became a monkey, and then that's us now, human beings. Okay. Well, again, they don't lie. Okay. They don't. Because there's a rule set here. We do all of that bullshit that we do for them through consent when we didn't have to give our sovereignty away to any of it. And they know it as well. But it was a trick. Got tricked into it. Yeah, they're after your soul, guys. So, yeah, the influence on the coinage is Norse. And I also see influence of Asia, as in India. But that could be the Hittite influence. This is Brutus. Now, some people say that Brutus, who was a Phoenician, came to Britain, and there's a narrative and I got in this history book that I'm going to link you up shortly in the descriptions box below. I think Hyperborean, because of its location to the north. You have the Bok saga as well. You know, there's so many different narratives that I think that the Phoenicians came and could be still there. Okay, wherever they're ruling from, we don't see, and it's very clandestine, and they always gotta, like everybody else, has got to be the scapegoat. Nobody ever points towards the Phoenicians. Nobody in the history books even say they do a thing wrong. Oh no, they packed in human sacrifice in the 2nd millennium AD. It's like, did they? So, well, where'd you get that right in? That's what it says in this book here, is they packed in sacrifice. There's a lot of clues in this book here. I've picked it apart so many times on this channel. But what we're looking at here is the Phoenician origin of Britain, Scots and Anglo-Saxons. And it is fantastic. It tells you about Brutus, tells you of the existence of Hittite, Sumerian, and also Phoenician artifacts in Britain. Not Rome, never Greece. So annoying. So yeah, the Phoenicians were Aryans in race. Okay, so the British people are overwhelmingly German. Okay, so they are white. They are Aryan, Caucasian people, the people of this island. No, they are. And the original Celts, they are called Suevi, which means dark, and they look like me because I am half Scandinavian and I am half Welsh. So I look like a Brit, the original Brits of this island. So the Phoenicians are the culprits, is what I am saying. And I'm saying that they rewrote the history. And I am saying that before then, there was a Tartarian network, a Tartarian free electric, free energy, unbelievable technologies. If you imagine the pre-Raphaelite art and then add really superior technologies to it, implosion technologies as well, electromagnetic technologies, then that would give you an idea of what that world might have been like. Fantastic longevity, psychic abilities. Now, that's something else that I think is happening with the awakening. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with this, is I think that this is going to be a psychics revolution. I think that's how we're going to win. It's with our minds and our psychic abilities. Don't ask me why I think this. This is what I think is going to win it, okay? Is our minds, our power of our minds. If you're psychic and you can anticipate the game, then you won it. And I think that's where we're going to win. I think our psychic abilities is what's the key here. That's what I think. It's a psychic revolution that's going to win us the game, which we have won. It's just a matter of time. What it is this imbalance with society crumbling and culture is in decline and society is in decline. So yeah, just some emblems here, all in ancient Britain. Sun crosses derived from Hitto, Sumerian, and Phoenician and Trojan sources. Okay, so that's, you know, pre-Roman Britain. And you can see the Trisilian, you can see Christian crosses, but they're not Christian crosses. They're a sigil code. It's all ciphers. It's all codes. That's another thing that wins the game, is knowing the game. If you know the game, you can find the cipher to fucking win it. And I'm in it to win it. Trojan and Egyptian and Phoenician. Hittite, Sumerian, all in Britain. But they didn't tell us anything about this in the history books. They don't tell you anything about this in any school or anywhere. Okay, you're just not going to hear about it. Look. Diagnostic cipher marks of Sumerian and Chaldean deities. If any other use the word cipher, just a coincidence, I guess. So yeah, they are codes and patterns in these codes. This is what these are, ciphers. So what they did as well, the apparent Romans, is they replaced the deities. So they're exactly the same deities, but with different names, basically. Baal, as you know, is a Phoenician god, and they've also got other deities as well. The Sumerian, Sanskrit, and Phoenician and Greco-Phoenician coins, all found in Britain. So Sanskrit, guys, Britain, you know, the original Britons were probably high-end spiritual Buddhists. Like, this place was probably like Tibet. I'm telling you, I just know it. And then these weirdos come in, which are like dark entity, greedy Phoenician types, which are the people who are ruling it now. You know, narcissistic. Not that now. I think narcissisms and names should be dropped. I think that is a wrong emphasis. I think that everyone's got good and bad in them. It's just what they decide to do with their life, I think, anyway. And all of us are really complex, and we can't lie and say we're not, and we don't even understand ourselves. Like I said, it's understanding the game, knowing who you are, know thyself. That's a biggie. And that's the toughest one of all, because if you have as much trauma as, you know, I'm sure a lot of you have had a very traumatic and violent fucking existence like myself. And you get to the other side, and then it gives you a new clarity, you see. It's a very strange existence, this one. But I'm sure I've had to look at this. That's Tas, the Phoenician god Tas. And Ta. Huh, interesting. Sumerian word sign, the right hand for Ta. I say Ta. I say Ta. When somebody gives me something, I say, oh, Ta. That's thanks in Welsh. It's Ta. How many times do I say Ta, guys? That is fucking Sumerian. British Sumerian. I've been using British Sumerian words and I never even knew it. Another one is the cross of Andrew. The Scottish cross is the cross of Indra. Indra, the book, basically the god from Sanskrit. Indra. And Tash of the plough, or Tash hub. Tashio. So Dionysus as well is an interesting person. That is Bacchus. Also, you could think of him as Lucifer, but the two-headed resurrecting sun god. So I think that as well. I think there are two suns. I think that our sun is being obscured by our real sun is being obscured by the fake Phoenician sun. I think that the sky we see is possibly a holographic fake ass sky because it's changed since my youth. And I think that the real world is being hidden from us, like vanilla skies in the pictures, is what I think. I think the real world is there. I think we just can't perceive it yet. Celestine Prophecy, baby. So yeah, Indra, the god Indra, 2 circles, interesting. I really do think that there's another sun behind there. And our one is the yellow one, our sun. So yeah, what we got here, the sunbird, the phoenix, sunfish, and goat. All part of the sun angel, Phoenician seal of the archangel Tas. Isn't that interesting? Like I said, they just cut the Phoenicians right out of the story. Very annoying. And all of this, Goths and Indras, the Saint Andrew, like I said, is not a saint, it's Indra. And look at this, swastikas. Now remember, there's 123, I think it is, letters in the Phoenician alphabet. It was more letters in the, in the Tartarian alphabet. And I feel that it started out okay. And then the Phoenicians got hold of it. Here's Indra here, bestowing life-giving waters out of his body into jugs. So why would Indra, the god, be giving life waters? Again, masters of water. It's that structured water. It's that good stuff that we never get. They took the water out of water. So yeah, I can link this book up to you. You can go through it at your own discretion. It's a really good book, this is, man, guys. The evidence is overwhelming. And there they are. They got happy hats on. I think they might have elongated skulls. So here's the Phoenicians bringing gifts for the Persian king in Persepolis in a bas relief. Now, they give him dates of 5th century BC, but we can't corroborate any of that. Could be any time. So they did like a cultural Marxism. They bring what you like. So it's fire water to the Americas through the Phoenician ports like San Francisco or Chicago, or in Europe, it's Hamburg or Rotterdam or other, major ports of the world. And they bring in things people like. So in this case, it's wine, it's oils. We got some healing device here. Do you see that? Wow, 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 wow. Like a tricorder. Just wave it about, and any problems you got. Maybe they had nanobot technology. I can't imagine them doing all of that nanobot research and not actually having nanobots. If you could buy a nanobot injection that would fix you so that you felt like a 16-year-old, I mean, like, fantastic. Never had an ache and pain in your fucking existence. Happy-go-lucky. Would you take it? A nanobot injection, if you knew that it would correct your eyesight, yeah? Put everything back normal again, yeah, from your decaying bodies. I'd have to consider it. Depends how much it was going for. I might nanobot it. So, yeah, the Phoenicians, Noah's flood, 1600, somebody put forward there. Excuse me, I wouldn't say that 1600, but I don't know. I don't make claims like that. But I make claims that the Romans are absolute bullshit and just a narrative, when the evidence is pointing towards, a Sumer Hittite and predominantly Phoenician origins or early settlement of the Great British Isles. And Indian gods. Here's Lucifer, who is the sun god, the father of the Phoenicians. You can see this as Mithra and other deities in other pantheons of culture. The same. Statue of Liberty, beams of light coming out, sunlight, because this is the sun. It is Lucifer, or the devil. Because Satan is the sun, and we are in hell, is what I think. It's the Phoenicians. Now, it's funny that they cover their heads in gold in their statues. These are some Phoenician statues. I feel that this could be Electrum, what they were covering the antique world with. Papa Smurf was purple, wasn't he? Were the Smurfs purple? Anyway, he's got a happy hat, like an elongated head like Akhenaten. He's got an Akhenaten head on. And the Egyptian goddess Hathor, who is the Phoenician goddess, which I've already put forward as being a fertility hub. And all of these Phoenician deities, which they keep repeating in other cultures. But they are definitely the people in charge now, because the Bacchusites, you know, the way that their society and their culture, especially with rap music and other forms of music, you can see the Phoenician handprint all over it. I see it everywhere. And it is excess, it is drinking, it is not good moral stuff, really. Not really. It's like an anti-spiritual progression methodology is what it is. So here's one of their angels they had as well. So yeah, Tass. They had an angel, Tass. Wasn't there a space agency called Tass? Yep, I think there was. Something aeronautical space. What was that? Tass. Can't remember. So yeah. What have the Romans ever done for us? That's interesting. I think that's a Mount Meru. And it's in the shape of a key. What an interesting story and voyage anyway for us all. It looks like it might be the Gorgon, who is the Medusa, who's a technology. They say that's part of Greek mythology, but there it is with the Phoenicians. I think it's just the Phoenicians, I do. And the Hittites, and the ones we are aware of that they keep out of the historical narrative and push their weird Romans who were orgiastic, and they wear dresses and their breath smells of garlic, and they're like the worst culture in the world. If the Romans turn up, everyone's like, oh, the fucking Romans. Nobody likes the Romans. They're like, oh, that's weird. They're like the Romans. They're just like the people in power today. You see the armed forces, or the forces, the police and etc. They're on the streets of Britain. They're just like Romans, like Roman stormtroopers. And they're acting for the empire, who is the Phoenicians. How do I know? Because we're talking their language. Why would we talk? We're not talking the Roman language, are we? Which is Latin. The church are, though. And they have got, they're the permeators of the rewritten history anyway. And they just want you to believe any old shit. So here is the extent of the known Phoenician Empire. You can see that Greece and Italy was involved as part of Phoenicia, North Africa. They haven't got Egypt, although Egypt was definitely part of Phoenicia. And eventually all of this became Carthaginian, around here, Troy, and up here, the Anatolian civilization. But it was a lot wider, and they were trading with people world over, the Phoenicians. So devil, 5 letters, 3. Beast, 5 letters, 3. Consonants. Interesting. Nanobots, never. What if they put in your toothpaste? Yeah, Baphomet, 5 consonants, 3 vowels. Oh, fucking hell, Mark Roy. Ooh, it is spooky when you look into all the name codings. Right, let me come back for a minute. I'm going to show you some flatter date images and stuff, but I'll catch up with what's going on with the gang. Okay, got 400 almost of you watching, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm in Wales. If you don't know where that is, it's in the UK, in Britain land, which is UK is the corporate name. It's bullshit on toast, isn't it? Right, Mutton Man Raw. Let's have a look what you're saying. See, Jolly Man's in the house. Ancient aliens. So we'll have a look at that now. All that bloody fuckers. What dates were Phoenicians there? Well, it's difficult to say, Mutton, because I would say they say 2,000 years ago, Londinium, don't they? I would say that a whole narrative and all of that was happening within the last 700 years. Within the last 700 years, I think, since the world cataclysm and everything else. Okay? And they rewrote history. But not 2,000 years ago, because all of these buildings are still there. And, you know, apparently there's things called like acid rain, which apparently eats buildings. And, you know, all the Industrial Revolution, all the 80s and 90s and the buildings never got eaten by all that acid rain. Maybe they sorted out the emissions or something, whatever. They keep forgetting, don't they? They tell you one thing's happening and they forget. Can you remember acid rain? It's eating our churches. Right, what's this? Ancient aliens. Ancient aliens, waste from another distant exoplanet. I just can't do anything to do with space stuff and all of that, my friend. It's just like, it just does. Jolly man. Space stuff is just too much in my brain. But it's a good business model and loads of people like all that shit. Can you prove any of it? Fuck no. Yeah. Let me show you an example of how ludicrous it is, right? NASA this week invented a narrative, okay? I don't know whether you know about this, where they're completely possessed by the devil, obviously. Radio signals from deep space. Stop right there. So where is deep space? Where's deep space? So if you look up in the sky, apparently you're seeing the galaxy or the little bit of the arm of the galaxy that we're on. And if you look out that way, okay, apparently you're looking outwardly into deep space, okay, which is on the outer arms and reaches of our apparent galaxy. That's where deep space is. Now, NASA and other scientists have detected mysterious deep radio signals, such as recently observed repeating signals from an object, blah, blah, bollocks. Whoa! It's the whoa moment, which pulses every 44 seconds. It should have been 44 minutes. And it's confirmed by both the radio and X-ray telescopes. Okay. Other signals like the 18-minute pulse from the long-dead NASA satellite. So what? A NASA satellite, long dead, so it didn't fall to Earth with the gravitational pull of Earth and then burn up on re-entry. Nay, it floated off light years into deep space. You see what they do to us? It's like people who say, well, what's deep space then? It's like fucking deep space. Satellites are not going to deep space. They're not going there because it's too far away. Anyway. So they said that, which makes me, I broke out in a sweat of NASA and AI can fuck off. Have been traced to the breakdown of old equipment, while others, such as those of magnetars, originate from collapsed stars. Okay, so there's a radio signal if a star collapses. Okay, maybe a pulsar. Boo, 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 boo. But you can get radio signals off a dead satellite, which is in deep frigging space. So this is where they're just insulting your intelligence, okay? They just presume that nobody knows anything about space stuff. So they're just like, hey, don't worry. They just make up shit on a daily basis anyway. None of it's real. Apparently there's aliens have entered the solar system. Yeah. Oh, they passed your underpants. No, I mean Uranus. And they're coming towards Mars. And then they're going to land, okay? And it's the Anunnaki. It's the fucking Anunnaki. Do you know what they want? No, they don't want gold. No. They want to touch you. They want to touch you in unfortunate places. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to create militias to fight the aliens that are coming? No, you're going to sit there and wait. Wait for that glorious day. Anyway, let's have a look at some pics of the day. Don't worry about it. They're not coming to get you. Not on my watch. Okay. Wish you were here. This is a picture of Wales. This is a picture of where I live in Wales. It's called Ely. It's a very beautiful place. Okay. As you can see, the Welsh mountains here. Where LSD was invented? Probably not. But I think most people who are wandering around in this wilderness are eating mushrooms, because that seems to be a staple of Welsh people, apparently. So this was a book by the guy who gave us the current Bible. So the King James Version Bible, okay, which is a highly altered work of narratives, all really, really fucking dodgy narratives, by the way. His other book was Demonology, okay, King James the First, which I think might have been a black man. Okay, they don't really want you to know that either. They had any black monarchy. But the monarchy these days, Jesus H. Christ, how's that going to carry on, eh? With old Prince Andrew, yeah? He's been detitled, haven't he? He's been exiled off into a lodge up north, wherever ones like him go. But at the end of the day, who gives a shit? Look at this, though. This is amazing. So, in church machines, cymatic frequencies of sound of human vowels. Human vowels. Words. In architecture. Imagine, you know, that's just amazing when you think what these devices could have done then. A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. I-O-U? I-O-U what? I don't think IOUs work in the modern day. I don't think they got there. And there's another thing they robbed from us. So let's have a look what they've robbed from us. So I think about this. Okay. I'm not bitter. Right, the food. Have you seen the size of the Quality Street tins this year for Crimbo compared to what we had in the 1970s? What Arctic Roll? Does it taste the same? Heinz beans, do they taste the same? No, nothing tastes the same. It's all gone to shit in a handbag. It's all modified. Okay. Friends, our friends. Are they the same friends? Pew, pew, Barney McGrew, Chuff, Madibble, Grout, Are they the same friends that you used to go and get pissed with 20, 25, 30 years ago when they were still cool? Before they got gigavaxed? Friends are a problem, aren't they? This is where community comes in handy. Not in the sense of like an ashram where everyone just goes nuts and joins a cult, okay? Because that's not good, okay? Because that is where a lot of this stuff ends up, I've noticed. No, in the sense of networking, meeting other people, like-minded. Because when you're stuck in with no one to fucking talk to all day long, because no one is in the same world as you, thinking the same thing, so you're not going to be able to talk to them. This is where community building comes in handy. To meet like-minded people. Okay. And then later on, if you want to go and join a sex cult, you can go. Okay. But it's not my advice is don't bother. Okay. So, well, that's what they do. That's what they do. Okay. I've been watching these sort of things happen for years and years and years now. Anyway. So what else did they rob from us? Our architecture. We had fantastic architecture, didn't we? So they definitely replaced that. So there's that. Trust. So everyone's a grass now. It's like everyone just fucking grass you up for anything. If you were doing anything, that is. But they are really, really grassy. It's like, fuck off already. No, they are. So I don't like that aspect of humanity. So I grew up in the 1970s. Yeah. I grew up with the miniskirt, double-decker buses. I don't know why I put them two together, but there is a connection, you'll find. Anyway, nowadays, if you look at ladies having a night out in, say, Liverpool or Manchester, they still have really short skirts on, but they look like a beach whale. I'm not being horrible. It is true. And they've all got like duck lips now. If you notice, this is a thing they do now. It's Donald fucking duck lips. Maybe if you told them, the spell would break. I got a feeling they just start crying if you told them. It's like, you know, you fucked yourself up and you've got duck lips. It's like you were quite attractive before and now you look like fucking Daffy fucking Duck. Yeah. So people have changed that much. So it's family, friends, changed unbelievably. Food, my favorite thing of all. Spain, do you know Spain? They got real food in Spain. Little known fact, before Thing was an actor, he was a stagehand. Did you know that? See, I'd have had a female hand. That would have been really handy. Rapunzel, let down your hair. No, that's okay. Never mind. Now, when you were a man in the 1970s and you were courting, okay, on the 80s, do you know what courting is? Yeah, on the pull. If you were on the pull, right, you didn't have to worry about things like, has she got a willy? Yeah, that didn't even come into your mind. That wasn't going to happen. That was a woman, real woman. Yeah. Nowadays, it's completely changed. Now, I come from Cardiff, and Cardiff has unfortunately become woke capital. I mean, they have the crossings rainbow colours. I mean, they have tampons in the male toilets. Yeah. So what? They put tampons up their bum. I don't know how that even fucking works. So, see, this is another thing as well. Yeah, that they do with society is they're just fucking with us. So, what they do is they know everybody is mentally ill. So they'll find a niche that suits that mentally ill person. And then they'll just get them in. Come here. We've got a better cult than their cult. We've got a better care package. Join our cult. What can you offer? Eternal life and a wage at the end of the month. So a wage at the end of the month. Yes, and we give you dentistry. Is that true? No, it's not true. Because they'll give you anything. Anyway, double-hulled ships. Yeah, I definitely think that the wooden ships, I think Crosby, Stills and Nash were trying to tell us something, is a psyop. I've been thinking about it. The way these steel ships just shit out of nowhere. I know you're asking, where's all the steel ships now? At the bottom of the fucking ocean, obviously. And they just corrode away, don't they? And you're not down there to look at them. So there's that. I got a bit of a schnoz. I've had it all week. In this engraving, there's a really interesting mud flood happened in the square. Now, there are graves and a load of choir people, but overwhelmingly in the square it is full of mud in the centre of town, next to the bunko booth, which everyone teleports through. So people in St. Petersburg designated themselves on a ley line path across this definite important nodal point, which is in St. Peter's Palace, outside the Winter Palace, outside the obelisk of, I think that's Alexandra, and they've created a pentagram. Now, did they do that deliberately? No, I think it's sacred geometry. They were just following ley line points that are already there. People do it. They just automatically follow these ley lines. So, yeah, Liberty Island in New York City, yeah, or New York in the river, is a shithole. It's a literal slum. Look at Liberty Island. Yeah. Welcome to America. Yeah. First thing you see when you come in New York Harbor off the big steamship or in off the airplane, going to land in JFK Airport now, and then you look down and it's like, what the fuck? Can't turn wrong, can you? So here's the Phoenicians. Take a look. They are Melusilians. She was laughing with joy, ha 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 ha, and frolicking around in the bath. So yeah, maybe when they're in the bath, they're fishy. But when they get out, they shapeshift into human form. The longer they stay out of the water, then they become human. But I think they got super strength and psychic abilities. And I think they're in the ruling elites. There's quite a few films that show you the Phoenician watery people are actually, let me just get rid of that thumbnail, mermaids and mermen, which I think is the case, actually. Let me just get rid of that thing, because it's blocking the images. No offense, personally, user. No, modern Italians have no. The modern Italians are Arabic. They've got Moorish roots. And no, they're nothing to do with the original Italians. They'd like to think they were original apparent Romans. No, Martin, Atlanteans versus Athenian, Hyperborean, Western Europe was Atlantean. Well, could be Eric. Just throwing it out there, my friend. Your ideas is as good as my ideas. The deep sea is an abyss. You never know what's down there. So that's right. That is free soul. Anyway, back to the juicage. So I did a 2-hour hangout earlier with a group of people. I'm not sure if they knew who I was or anything. I don't think they did, actually, or about flat earth or anything. With a nice lady. And I was going to record it and put it up, and bloody volume didn't work, so I won't be putting it up. But as soon as I find her channel, I'll link it up, because it was a 2-hour hangout earlier. So I haven't been doing many interviews. I was feeling that it's just not me. I don't know. Maybe I should do a few. I don't know. Let me know what you think in comments. I'm just better off on my own. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, check this out for a water fountain. Beaton Memorial Fountain. A beautiful American town. And they got that Phoenician Antiquitech. Look at that. And the old Tartarian tower there. Something going on with clock towers as well. I'm going to need to dig deeper with that. But I definitely think clock towers are quite interesting. Thank you for showing support. Link there, Hippie. That is absolutely awesome. We need the help. So, these are the lamps of the old world. Imagine if it came off and hit you in the head. Whoa, be nasty, wouldn't it? What's going on in the background? Reading something. Don't know. Anyway. So, yeah, these were apparently outside all of the towns, spraying stuff prior to the Black Death. But isn't it an irony of these Drugi plague doctors have got a caduceus, which is attributed to health and vitality and used by the NHS service? Yeah, it was a weapon of some sort in the past, spraying miasmic mists. When I was younger, this time of year used to be really, really foggy. And boy, that fog used to bash your chest in. Honest to God, you think it was going to kill you. You used to go Christmas shopping as well, coming up to Christmas, and you couldn't see your hand in front of your face with the pollution of the cars, and the smog was unbelievable. London added a lot worse. Loads of people. I think it was something like 20,000 Londoners died during the London smog. But we had it year two. It comes off the water, and you can't see your hand in front of your face. Unbelievable fog. We haven't had that in years. And we had a fog on out on Steepholm Island, and he used to go all night long. I used to love it. It was a comforting sound. Gone now. Don't need a fog on anymore. So what do you think happened to that civilization in that painting? There's loads of paintings like this. We show you the world smashed. And everything just laying around. And the survivors, the occupants who came in later, who are probably from bunkers, and who even knows, maybe some of them are in cryostasis and the whole thing took hundreds of years to repair. How do you even know? To me, I don't think you could heal the end of the world in a generation. I think it's going to take 100 years at least. Get the mud out and get everything up and running again. This is a weird picture. This is Stalingrad. So the Battle of Stalingrad is raging, but I can't see any army. The Phoenician, or excuse me, the classical buildings that are on fire in the background, and this is the main square for Stalingrad. And you can see there is children dancing around an alligator. Well, you do not get alligators much in Stalingrad. In the Volga, don't really do alligators. And you can see these buildings are old and mud flooded as well. Where's the army that's causing all this? And the photographer standing there to take the iconic photograph. It's just the narrative behind Stalingrad has grabbed me for many years. And I'm just wondering, with this photograph, what the hell's going on? Where is these huge armies? I don't know. So 432 of you, thank you for watching. Happy post-Saturday thing. I would have come back last night, but I've had a cold, and last night I had a bit of a headache, so I thought, well, it's just going to get worse if I talk all night. So, Machiavelli, good to see you. Alva Billy. What's that? We had thick clouds of sulfur dioxide pour over us from the smelter. Oh, yeah. We used to hear the steam hammer in Barry years ago as well, banging away. Don't hear that anymore in the night either. So, yeah, this is the inside of an exposition. Now, they say the expositions, as you know, were put up for X amount of time, 8 months, then ripped down. But what they don't really tell you about is the interiors. They did all of this for 8 months. Inside and out to that fantastic level. All of the effort, all of the money. Yes, David Jones, lies. Lies. And this thing, okay, is part of the Pan-Pacific Exposition. There's pictures of this thing being pulled down, and it looks all like it's hollow inside, but there's a quadriga. You've got an elephant with a tower on its back, obelisks, you know, the size of that statue. And it is dirty. You can't argue that this thing looks weathered. Look at that, on there. It's dirty, isn't it? It was there 8 months. This thing looks bogging old. It's got algae on it already. How is it only standing less than a year then and pulled down if it's stinking dirty and got algae on it? I think it's an older world building. I think the photographs they show us are fake as fuck. And Hellenistic or Phoenician angel on the back of a chariot. You got to imagine the ancient world could manage to do gold work to that extent. Thank you, Celine. Appreciate that. Epinephrine. What's happening, lady? It's a big effing magnet. Yeah, I love really, really interesting gold work. It's always infinitely interesting. So yeah, sphinxes. They've got some of these in Russia as well, you know. Get them in Europe as well. So Bulgaria. Romania's got a few in antiquity, but what is the score with these cryptids? Half lion, half woman, Phoenician nose cryptids. Did they exist? Oh, I don't know. This is a lovely little picture. This is Cincinnati, and you can see this mud bank, and they've put a cable car going up here. Some of the other photographs of Cincinnati are just so amazing, but look at this Tartarian building. Sin City, Cincinnati. And I've been talking about balloons for years, as you know, but can you imagine going from America to Europe in a luxury balloon the size of hotels and, you know, everything in there, ballroom, restaurants, all the best food, non-noisy with loud bloody engines and all of the other uncomfortableness that comes along with plane journeys, like 8 hours sat in a space that big. Yeah. Such a shame. And then it can deliver you right off to where you need to go as well, which is brilliant. So, yeah, these vaulted ceilings in some of these temples in India and Pakistan, etc., resemble a jet engine. Is there a connection? Probably behind the technology behind it, because if you're into jet fuel, then you'll know that they're using implosion technologies and running these things on free energy. And these may be a schematic for that sort of technology put into architecture. Why not? Why not? So yeah, you arrive on your balloon like that, clunk, and then you disembark through a door, nice and safely to your destination. And that's how everyone was traveling. And I think that should come back in the new world to come, ballooning. So yeah, look at the flower of life. The ancients completely knew about this place. Cellular reproduction and the flower of life. Just unbelievable. I've seen a picture of, they say, I don't believe the double helix is a thing, but they say if you look down on a double helix, it shows you the flower of life. But I don't believe the double helix is a thing, and I don't believe DNA is what they say either. It's all bullshit on toast, isn't it? Fucking germs. Yeah, look at this old rag bag shop. Lovely little image, this. They may not have much, but they're happy. Just living their lives. She's reading a book, maybe doing a bit of paperwork, accounting, so to speak. Sunlight soap made of horses. So here is one instance, I'll show you another one in a minute, of occult symbolism. That is, they've tarted up what looks like the barracks and stuff for what is known as Bedlaw's Island. How many of you call it Liberty's Island or Liberty Island? With Fort Wood is the Star Fort. This is called Liberty Island. It's man-made island by all accounts, but the Statue of Liberty is on Bedloes Island in New York Harbor. How many of you knew it was called Bedloes Harbor Island? How many of you? Any of you? No, I know. Bedloes or Loos. Bedloes. But yeah, sun, moon, all esoteric meanings. They do it on churches as well. I've got some evidence for. So these are soldiers of the German army in the Great War. Okay, are they all the same person? They could be all the same family. And they made all them go to war and shoot at other people. Oh, fucking stupid. And they couldn't even say, yeah, no. So what do you mean, no? It's like, no, I don't want to go. It's like, are you coward? And all of that stigma. If you don't want to play, stupid. So there's the Gorgon, the technology I've been speaking of, the electromagnetic technology of the old world. It's in Greek mythology. If you look at her, you turn to stone. You've got to see her in a reflection of a shield to take her out. Yeah. Follies, they're well named, aren't they? They're all over Britain. Some of them attributed to famous architects like Inigo Jones and others, but they're all over the British countryside. But some of them are on anomalous old world ruins. Follies. Look at this. I bet that takes you underground, where the Wombles live. Underground, overground, wombling free. So the money of the Romanov Empire was filtered through for great architectural enterprises. And there's no doubt, I think, that this was the case. And the money of the biggest country in the world, you can see the Tsarina here, showing you her wonderful guests. And they all have Tartarian headwear on. The women, anyway. The headwear of Tartarian queens in Russia, or Muscovites. But I think the original Muscovites, I think the dynasty of the Romanovs is a throwover from the old world. I think that's why they were executed by the Bolsheviks. But I think that they didn't get executed. I think that they went undercover, and they're probably still around today and in power. I don't think the Romanovs went. Just got that sneaking suspicion. I don't know why. Instinct. Call it instinct. The evidence is shit. There's no evidence. You ever look at the room where the Romanovs got killed, apparently by like Mauser machine guns? There's not a spot of blood on the wall or nothing. Just no. You splatters a whole family. I'm sure they'd have one blob of blood on the wall, especially with a machine handgun. They even tell you the gun that was used just to rub it in. I don't know. So yeah, they indeed had some beautiful shit in the old world. This is a musical box. I like musical boxes myself. I'd love an old one. Mesmerizing, I would say. Stare at them. Got little pineal glands here, look. Tops of towers. But the whole thing's a castle. So I think can you imagine that round room? Oh, look at it. Something's been removed from there. There would have been a statue. You can see the shell, the Phoenician. Again, blank panels or blank plaques, which I think are black mirrors. And a beautiful bit of antiquity going on there, look. And blowholes as well. And a balustrade or a beautiful little bit of wrought iron. But yeah, the balloon could come in and just drop you off straight there. And you just walk straight into your beautiful home. Because everyone had beautiful homes. So yeah, Bedlaws Island, New York, Statue of Liberty in the Narrows. Some people say it's a Mandela effect and it's been moved because it's no longer in New York, it's more in New Jersey. But again, with the esoteric meanings, suns and moons. And it's Statue of Lucifer as well. So my grandma was a Cossack like the Romanovs. I'm Tartarian, haha. So I'm from Estonia, my father was, and there's a road that goes through Tallinn that's called Tartarian Avenue. I got a picture of it, and I seen it on Google Earth. So I thought, wow, Estonia definitely was part of Tartaria, no doubt about it. And would I consider myself Tartarian? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. So yeah, look at this. So we've got a faceless knight thing going on here, but look at that sword. Who the hell could use that sword? And God knows what the other thing is. Looks like a caduceus. Two serpents intertwining. St. Petersburg. Indeed, Mark. Apparently built by Peter the Great. But he lived in a log cabin, believe it or not. But he built all of the Winter Palace and the Hermitage and everything else. And the architectural feats of Catherine as well, which are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, the Romanovs built some unbelievable shit. Do I think they built some of the stuff at Tartaria? Sure, yeah, I do. I think some of that was Romanovs. They were a dynasty for close to 600 years, guys. So post reset, yeah, I think they were to do with Tartaria. That's why the Bolsheviks, the Jews, I think that's why they executed them. So this is beautiful, isn't it? Look at this. This deity bursting out of the waves, just like Venus, but without a penis. Okay. Phoenician statue, gold leaf, half. They'll always show you a lot of these statues with a half-formed man or woman, like they're growing them or something. They're like half-formed. Now, blue windows, okay, guys, like cobalt windows, not computers, although I've got blue blocker on my glasses. On different coloured glass, rose tinted windows as well, will give you a light through sunlight, which is healing qualities, which is why these people are watching the sunset behind the stained glass, the colour coming through. And they're feeling fantastic. And it looks really trippy too. So, yeah, I love stained glass, especially blue light as well. So we got lost along the way thanks to the bloody internet. This is what we were doing years ago. Anybody have pen pals? How about writing letters? Anybody consider themselves a creative letter writer? Well, I used to enjoy letters. I used to enjoy writing them as well. They take a lot of effort to word yourself correctly, and you can't make mistakes and start again because that could take forever. It's not like the internet. we can just cancel. People's handwriting was fantastic. Did you know Adolf Hitler had 2 American pen pals during World War II and wrote to them the whole time? Did you know that? Apparently, that's what Google says. So, yeah, they had beautiful handwriting. They were very, very creative. And they had just made beautiful things as well. But the letters, the handwriting, God, it was beautiful. Here's a load of people having basically a fame moment. It's like fame of the Victorian era. Fame, I'm gonna live forever. Only they're not dancing on cars. I'm gonna learn how to fly. There's 2 ladies and 2 ladies dancing together. I think in that day and age, there was nothing going on. But it probably was. So, yeah, everyone dancing in the street, which is awesome. Communication across the nation, a chance for us to meet. So, yeah, bring the lies to your door. Free library service. We had a library. Lorry used to come to my street as well. With a really shitty selection of books, by the way. I never used to like the library because my reference library was infinitely better than any library. So, yeah, it's like, what do you want to learn about? Do you want to learn about space? Planets? No. Do you want to learn about dinosaurs? Oh, yeah, dinosaurs. Show me them. Okay, and this book's about evolution. Where you came from? A little monkey. Okay, thank you. And off they go, thinking that this is all real. So, yeah, this is where we were in the past. Beautiful crocheted woolen. Imagine how soft that is and yummy. Yeah, I need some woolen clothes for the winter. And her hair all fluffy as well. And she's writing a letter, okay, with actual words. It's lovely, isn't it? That's another thing that they robbed us of. Right, she's truly scrumptious. She's truly, truly scrumptious. She's an attractive lady for the era, and she's off on her electric trike car. She needs a bit of a push to get her off, but once she goes, look at them tiles. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, beautiful building. I was just looking at that weird sill thing they got going on there. What is that? Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, here's some chicks of the roaring 20s. Ukuki Chu. Let's have a look. Let's hopefully they are. He looks a bit doody, and he's got a voice box. So I'm not investigating the 1920s, guys, because that would be sad. But that one's definitely got a big old fucking Adam's apple going on. And looks a bit doody. He looks a bit doody. That one looks a bit doody. Can't tell with that one. And that one could just be just ugly. I don't know. Nobody's ugly. You know what I mean? Yeah, they are. The woke are really bleeding ugly. So, yeah. Are they women or are they men? I would say they are probably men with fake boobies. Wow. Some things just don't change. So, wow. Can't have an agger in your house anymore. That would be brilliant. Just get it going. Log burner. And then just cook your food yummy. No bills whatsoever. But not allowed to do that. Can't have coal fire anymore. Got to keep pouring money to them. This is brilliant. Look at this. All men. No shit, Sherlock. JC cover load. Fucking definitely. This is a washing machine. Now, I'm guessing if you place the plates in, they have to be exactly the same size. Otherwise, they will rattle loose. So you got specific plates. They come with it probably. They clip in. Turn it around into the soapy water. And you got yourself a little dishwasher. Bleeding brilliant. Because I'm not a fan of washing dishes. Myself. Right, let's have a look at the weirdos of the past. They're not happy, are they? Another thing I've noticed about the people of the old days is they look vacant. Like, where are they? They're like, hello? I think they might be on drugs. I know they gave them opium for, like, instead of, like, colic, for like teething problems or something. It's like, yeah, give him a bit of opium, that'll sort her out. She'll stop bleeding, crying. You know, just dunk it in this heroin. Anyway, shut up. So that was common practice in the Edwardian period. Drugging up your child. So, transport in the old days, okay? So this was a train in the old days where you have real coffee out of a real coffee pot. Nowadays, oh Jesus Christ, they have this stuff called coffee, and it comes out of a coffee bag. So it is vile. Yeah, train coffee is vile. In the old days, though, yeah, coffee, cup of tea, nice comfy chairs. Oh, it was frigging brilliant. And we used to have the posh restaurant car, the scummier restaurant car that done the meat pies and the mash and stuff. And then you could go and have a can of Stella and a spliff down the bar. This was like going to London on a train. God, the good old days. That's another thing they've taken from us. It's the good old days of train travel. Yeah, didn't need a sleeping car, not in Britain. On an American trip, you would need a sleeping car. But yeah, we used to sit in these cubicles, and then you get like a weird, like vicar sit across from you, and you could pick your nose like that and flick it. Right? Make sure he sees. He's like, fuck off, kids. Stop flicking snot at me. Or, you know, I'm not saying that I tortured the vicar or anything, but that is an instance. I also remember a really beautiful black woman sat opposite us. We talked to her all the way to London. That's all I remember of my strange train journeys. But I used to love going on trains just so you could talk to people. Back in the days, there was a whole thing going on. They were all at it like rabbits on the trains back in the old days. It's that gives you some rhythm, apparently. I've never done any train sex myself, but I'm sure it'd be very nice. So, isn't this never the opportunity? So yeah, they are in the old days in New York City. Choo choo on a train. Choo choo. Got to chew on a train. So yeah, look how stonking they all are. And he's an investment banker, though. Dies at 43. Gout. So, yeah. So I buy a ticket, right, guys, yeah, to America on American Airlines. Only when I got on there, my mind was fucking blown. Not only weren't there passive-aggressive staff, they were pleasant, sexy staff, but I walked out to this buffet, yeah? And then the alarm went off and I woke up and smelled the fucking coffee, because that is not going to happen in the real world, is it? Again, another thing we've been robbed with is aircraft food. So they come along on these stupid fucking trolleys that block the whole aisle. If you're going to the toilet, oh, it's the awkward squishy past you, bum, very, very slightly, not going to touch you, honestly, air hostess, past. Now I can go to the toilet. What you do not see is any fine munchkins like that. I could cry. Can you imagine going on a plane with all of that food? I'd literally take all my clothes off and roll in it. Prawns, langoustine. Probably not that bad. Anyway, you're the poor people of the past, and they are getting booze. These is post-war French people. They did get a bit skint after the war, but the wine, it's only a franc a bottle. A franc a bottle. I remember back when I was back in the day when we used to be able to buy a 10 franc bottle of wine that would make me drunk for a day or two and put me in a coma. It was that fucking strong. Them French, they must be all obliterated, splattergasted constantly. Look at this for an HD. Oh, these are chicks. Let's have a look. Again, you can't tell. She got a fox fur. Look. That was alive running around killing chickens. Now it's round her neck. I seen a real fox fur once in an old house that I was clearing out when I was building. And basically, I didn't find it. My mate did. And they called me in for a dinner break. And they said, Martin, what's that over there? And I looked under the cement and there was this fucking big head sticking out. Naturally, I thought, oh my God, it's the biggest rat on earth, and shit my pants. It turns out it was just a fox fur that was left in the old Victorian house. So, yeah, a beautiful photograph. I wonder what they're talking about. So here is Miss America. This is what beauty was in the past. Let's have a look. She's got a Phoenician shell. Miss Philadelphia, Ruth Malcolmson in the good old days. So that was the most beautifulest woman in America. There she is. Yeah, she's got a natural beauty going on. Bottom of her face is a bit fucked up, but yeah. Yeah. Nice face. Shame about nice legs. Shame about the boat race. No, I'm sure she's very beautiful and fluffy. They just didn't do things the same in the old days. And that is natural beauty, that is. No Botox or whatever they're doing to themselves these days. I don't fucking know. This is Hollywood casting. So these ladies are bringing their black cat to Hollywood to be casted in a movie. That many of them. I'm guessing there's a lot of that going on. Pet casting, child casting. Yeah, act better. I'm sorry, mummy, I can't do it. Act on a fucking clinic, because that happens a lot, isn't it? You want to be Baby Jane? Yes, mummy, fucking act. So, yeah, Charleston, never work with children and animals in Hollywood. That's golden rule. Okay. So, did you know, in the good old days of Coca-Cola, in the first days of Coca-Cola, there was anything up to 3.5 grams of cocaine in a bottle. Like half a quarter of Coke in a bottle. So for the price, I'm guessing that is a mad high, isn't it? Yeah. Don't know what the quality of, marching candy was. But I tell you what, it was in it. And when I was a kid, they still had a bit of Coke in Coca-Cola. And what you could do is you could take an aspirin with your Coca-Cola and it would activate the Coke in it and you'd be high. But that sort of phased out by the time I was about 12 or 13. They took the active ingredient out. Fucked it all up. So, back on the granny's tomazes. So, let's have a look. So that's what we were getting wrong. We built, see that building there and all these buildings? We built all of that with horse and carty. Coke. Yeah. Taste the real Coke. Body form for you. No, that's body form. Body form advert. It's not Coca-Cola. It's the only one that comes to mind. Body form for you. What is body form? Is that by Rule 5? Because she's worth it. So, yeah, we've been robbed biblically. Can't even watch adverts anymore. They comes up on the YouTube videos, right? And they have like Black Opium by Prada. And they have some like dude like pretending to be a woman. It's like sexying it up and that. And all the adverts is like women playing like football and sports and stuff. And not saying women shouldn't play sports and stuff, but I'm not being a male chauvinist pig either much, really. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I should just leave that alone. I think that like football should just stay male. It's bollocks anyway. You need bollocks to play it. So, yeah, they had recycling in the past. Bottles and jars, tins, paper and paper. This is London Borough Council's effort. She's just after the little cat. But, yeah, recycling. Fucking brilliant. The Germans are masters at recycling. They'll recycle anything. They wash toilet paper out and use it twice. No, they don't, because that wouldn't be possible. All right, this one's looking a bit dudey too. What's going on with all these Edwardians? Like, okay, then. I'm just going for a walk outside, Papa. Okay, make sure to pull your skirt up so it doesn't drag in all the mud. Oh, yes, Papa, thank you. What about your high heels? Do you think they'd be okay in all the mud? Probably not, Papa, because that's what they wear. It's like high heels, loads and loads of dress in the mud. Makes no fucking sense at all. So thanks, Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria brought out the Christmas tree. I won't be doing the Christmas tree this year because basically I sort of gave up Satan worship, sort of on a spiritual process now of no Satan worship. Doing really well at it too. Yeah. So doing a pact with the devil every time you put a present under the tree is not something I'm willing to do anymore. Although I did it through ignorance and not knowing and consent and everything to the game. So yeah, if you do have a Christmas tree, hang big spliffs off it, okay? Because that's the only thing that you're going to want. And toys as well. So knock yourself out. I'm not going to be doing it. Maybe I'll make a tree out of copper wire. So yeah, the shopping experience in the past is another thing, right, that they ripped us off from. Okay, so you go shopping, take a seat. Oh, can I have a look? Yeah, take your time. How long? Take as long as you want. Can I touch it? Oh yes, touch that lace. Can you feel that lace? Oh yeah, it's fine quality, isn't it? It feels really nice in my, between my fingers. It's like, yeah, just move it around a bit as well. Feel how soft that is. Oh, it's really, really soft. That's like the best lace I've ever. Yeah, it's got arsenic in it though. Arsenic, isn't that poisonous? Yeah, but you get high off it. You get high off arsenic. It's like, yeah, if you get the quantities right, you get shit faced. Mix it with your loads in them, you're right off. There's the flag of Sweden, and this is a lace shop and fine quality glass and everything else. So yeah, fucking hell, living in large back in the day, weren't they? Where you going? I'm off to buy some lace down the lace shop, love. Let's have a look at the old world. Oh, it's exactly like the modern day, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, look at all the protesters waving their little pink banners going, wah, wah, wah. No, there aren't any, are there? He's reading his newspaper. No one's going to bother him. No pisshead's going to come up to him and say, hey, mate, can you give me £1 for a can? Oh, no, can you? Like, you got to owe him something. Here's a couple. Oh, he's a bit of a spiv, isn't he? Okay. This is getting up to the 1930s. Do you know what I love? Laurel and Hardy. No matter which Laurel and Hardy I watch, it's comic genius. I adore Stan and Laurel and Hardy. I just adore them. So you may or may not be aware that these ladies here are not the parents of these children. No, they're not. Common practice back in the old days of upstairs and downstairs and handmaidens. What you had was a nanny, and the nanny brought up your brat because you didn't want anything to fucking do with it. Okay? That's what parenting was in the past, is let's bung it off on someone else and let them have the responsibility, which, if you think about it, is quite genius, really. So anyway, these, like Mary Poppins, as long as you don't lose, this is what you got to do. Take the kids out and walk it, get it some air, make sure you bring it back alive. Because if you kill somebody's baby, you've got to tell them, I killed your fucking baby, man. So what happened? You just went rolling down the hill, man, under the tram. It's horrible. Just seen it. Did you know this? You know Sir Walter Raleigh? Yeah. Oh, fuck the Spanish. We'll go and bomb them later, Sir Walter. Yeah. The fall of Sir Walter Raleigh. What? He fell. And look at that. Look at his beard. It's a bit of a fine goatee. On this day in 1618, Sir Walter Raleigh was executed at the Tower of London. Once Queen Elizabeth's favourite explorer brought her back ganja and potatoes. He fell from grace under James I. His final words were, strike, man, strike. Well, go on, strike. Maybe he was having his head chopped off. Anyway, I wonder what he did wrong. Somebody Google, what did he do wrong? So, yeah, here is Columbus on his way to discover America. But on his way, he's seen some UFOs. And he's seen some mermaids. They come up and said, there is a great land that way. We built it. You built it? Yeah, we built it. When we get out of the water, we sprout legs. It's like, whoa. Because, like, let's be honest, mermaid women are super duper hot. So there's that. Okay, so yeah, what killed Sawata Ali is bugging me now, because basically my computer's listening to me, guys. So yeah, killed. Fancy that. So let's move on. So here they are. You got an ugly version. We got a conical of a merman with horns and a mer woman as well. Well, I wonder why there are so many. Oh, so Walter Raleigh, the 29th of October, so a couple of days ago, 1618, yeah, convicted of treason for conspiring against King James I. He was conspiring to kill him. Yeah, he confessed when he got tortured. Oh, this place is fantastic. There's women living in the water. There's women living in the water. Yes, they're topless. Oh, look at, oh, praise be. So, yeah. And like I said, they're shapeshifters. They get out of the water. They sprout legs. How many years I've been on about this? Why don't you believe me? Okay, perspective. It's looking at perspective, and they're using a dragon. Simulacra. Simulacra. So that's the new AI push, in here. That's what everyone's on about in here. This is a simulation. As soon as AI started banging on, I was like, oh yeah, okay, fuck off then. I'm going to think for myself. Whatever I think is what I think. Honestly, guys, I just don't know anymore. All I know is this place is mined. There's only one of us here, and there's nothing in the exterior world. And I will be okay in the end. You just got to be careful what you do with your mind. I think a psychic army is where we need to be, where we can just be so all-powerful and be unfucking believable. Look at that, a megalithic stone. That is in a Devonshire pub called the... can't remember. But yeah, they built the pub around the Neolithic stone. It's been there that long. Instead of taking it away. Nice. All that energy in the building. So yeah, as you can see, there's got Greek on this coin. It's an ancient Greek coin. It says Tim. It's got an anchor and it's got an owl. And the owl is synonymous with who? Tartaria. So Tartarian / Greek coin. And this was on a mosaic floor, also in Greece, and this is the Green Man, as you know, is Bacchus. You get in Roman, Phoenician, and all of the others. And it's the same character, Bacchus, Dionysus, who is Lucifer. Andorons. We've been talking about these hand irons or andorons and resonant heating for houses for years now. I definitely think these are a thing, though. They go into a plate on the back and they heat up and then they emanate heat rather than a coal fire. Here's an old Piranesi, Egyptian. Got like a mosaic. That looks Freemasonic there. But you can see these andorons. There's no fireplace as such. And this is supposed to be from Egypt. Loads going on there. So yeah, guys, 360 of you. Welcome to my channel. It's Martin Leaker channel. If you're new to my channel, maybe you consider a subscribe and a like. It would be really groovy as well. And help that algorithm out, because I'm a YouTube content provider, which means I'm a bitch to the algorithm, which means you can't leave YouTube whilst off and live your life. You got to do it like every single day is what is going on. So yeah, I dreamed last night I went to Madeira. So I had to look on the map. It's 400 miles north of Tenerife, Portuguese territory. It's a jewel in the Atlantic, subtropical climate, and looks absolutely fantastic, full of Tartarian architecture too. So I don't know why I dreamed of that. Maybe I'll go there now. Madeira. So, yeah, the arrivals of San Francisco. This is a crazy picture, this is. Just crazy. There's a few things noticeable. So, this is Market Street after the apparent earthquake, which wasn't an earthquake, it was a fire. You can see the exit of the old world and the emergence of the new Imperial world, the modern skyscraper in the background. It's quite iconic, that. So, yeah, all these people turning up with their lovely clothes, little bag. I wonder where they're all going, what they're all doing. Where'd you buy your stuff? There's nothing there. Crazy pictures of San Francisco. I've got so many of them. Check this out then, guys. This little excavation here by Trey of mud for this church here. And if you look, the door is that high in the air. And there's another door down there. And all the mud. It's not bonkers. I think it's mud flooded that much. 33rd odd. And there's another entrance down there, look. See? Mud flood. What about that? Almi has all the best images. So, yeah, these citizen ships were ships with cities on them in the past. And I bet you these come up the Thames with the Phoenicians on them. Citizen ships. Ships full of Phoenicians. Floats with ramming barrier equipment. I can imagine it now. And I bet these were iron. And just like Caligula's ship, full of ironwork and brass work. They were after tin for brass. And they were after the Phoenicians. And they were after copper, I reckon, to put hole on the hulls of the ships. I think this is a giant coffee container in some sort of Russian, St. Petersburg, I think, Russian event. No, in Odessa, in the exposition. I was quite right there. It's a giant observation something. It looks like a coffee dispenser. No, America was mud flooded too. There's so many artworks like that show you the, the shattered old world, yeah, and all buried in mud. It's just all buried and everything's ruined. So many of these beautiful artworks showing you that world. And what forces crack all of this? And all of the vegetation on top shows you that it was earth on top. So I think it was raining clay or raining mud. So yeah, this church in, excuse me, I think this one's in Holland actually. But basically this church here is covered with esoteric meaning. And if you look here, Satan worship, Satan worship in a church. I don't know what this iconography is here, but this is for sure Saturn. So again, esoteric meaning, just like they do in Fort Wood. It's crazy, isn't it? Marticus Caligulus. Funny Mars. My name's like one letter away from Martian, so I did used to wonder. Yeah. Look at the size of these statues. Colossal statues in an exposition. Just colossal. Mad, isn't it? The world that went before us. And inside some of these old buildings in Russia that have all red brickers, as you can see. Red brick that is thinner horizontally, like what they call Roman. And only this is in Russia. And then you can see that the lattice work for inside the domes on top and the wires, all Antiquitech, a resonator that has been dismantled, unfortunately. Oh. Who remembers Weird Science? So this is a strange little 80s movie. It's about two young boys who create their own AI nonce. No, I shit you not. She literally touches young boys in the shower and stuff, but apparently because it's Hollywood, it's all acceptable. But that is what happens, is Weird Science. I know, look. I know. God, when I was young, this was one of my favorite films that ever happened. It's like, oh my God, why can't I weird science myself one of them? But yeah, I thought it was really weird because she does literally, nonce him up like in the film. So I was like, fucking hell. But yeah, weird science. We'll have a reminisce down old movies, I think, in the near future. What do you think, guys? I think we should do that. Go through some of the old 70s movies and have a little reminisce. So there I am. Marticus Bon Martin Litka is me. Here's my channel. And I noticed a load of truthers are getting their channels back. Any of you noticed that? Santos Bonacci got his big channel back, 250,000 subs. That's brilliant. And I noticed that Max Egan got Crow House back as well. So that is awesome. So the big YouTubers, the big truthers are getting their channels back. I wonder if that means I'll get my fucking channel back. And I wonder what's going on with YouTube mentality as well, giving the truthers back their channels. What are they doing? What are they doing? They're always up to something, aren't they? They're always sneaking around. So let's have a Santos Bonacci. Santos. He played When the Levee Breaks the other day on his guitar. Do you hear it? It's fucking brilliant. It's brilliant on guitar. Woohoo! So yeah, Mutton, thank you for your input today on this show. Backwards movie roles, reverse garbage. Yeah, no, I'm going to go through some old films and we're going to have a little narrative about them, see what we think. Because some of them are like deeply coded, like The Shining. Apparently, that's all like deeply coded of like Stanley Kubrick's, fake moon landing thing. But apparently, Kim Kardashian's just come out, like, the Arab princess. And she said that it's all bollocks, moon landing. So they're making her say, take that back. Take that back. We did go to the moon and we will go there again. It's fucking ridiculous. Did any of you ever see? I was going to say, did you see Saturn V? Oh my God, it's so fucking ridiculous. Stop it. Yes, Santos back. He's back from outer space. He just came here to find you here without that look upon your face. Monty Python's Flying Circus. They were fantastic. I wonder how they kept a straight face doing all that, though. Monty Python. It's just crazy. I don't know, they keep a straight face. They are professionals, actors, though, aren't they? Illuminati. They started out as a group called the Oxford or Cambridge Footlights. And they were like definitely chose by the Tavistock. And all of their films are deeply encoded, the Holy Grail, the meaning of life, and the whole, Life of Brian. Of course, big trouble back in the day, that did, guys. Cannons, I think, were cement mixers. No, I think cannons were electromagnetic technology. So thanks, Hippie, for linking all my goodies up. It's really kind, again, helping us out. Vibes is in the house, Rachel. Yeah. They are totally annoying. NASA stands for never a straight answer. But yeah, I'm over them anyway. But it's stupid. They keep making stupid shit up. And like people are like, oh my God, no, the aliens are coming. What are we going to do? Well, you need to buy a cork for your bottom and cover yourself in goose fat. Put your head in, go outside naked, put your bum in the air, and cover yourself in goose fat. The aliens may not see you with their cloaking technology, but they probably will. Okay. Sensies and Multi Python members break, keep in for prosperity. They did edit a lot of it out. Yeah, I'm still here, Morgan. I'm going to be going now because this has been epically long, 2 hours, and I just done a 2-hour stint before this show. But I'm going to be back midweek, and I'm going to be back very soon anyway. So make sure to share this out. Like I said, the existence of Rome, I think, is a psyop. I do. Okay. And I think that it was the Phoenicians that, well, it is because the evidence is there. Only they won't bring it up. So I'm bringing it up because it gets on my nerves when people bang on about the fucking Romans like they did something or something. It's like, look at these remains. They're Roman. It's like, what? They're not Welsh then, are they? It's like, no, the Welsh didn't have anything. You lived in mud huts. So, oh, we lived in mud huts, did we? Yeah, you had no culture, no anything. You stupid. So, oh, okay. Yeah, so the Romans came along, give you fucking culture. So, okay. So that is the narrative you get with Romans. So the British people couldn't manage to build shit. We needed the fucking Romans. Whatever. So there's my issue. Okay. So thank you, Bob. Much love and cutches. Matter sovereignty is our sovereignty, is everything. It's a tricky one, but there are strict rules and laws in this place that people don't realize about. And it is very subtle as well, the effects from it. I think the key is to be yourself. I really do. And not try to like fix anything. You know, if you're like, well, you know, if you're like this or you're like that because of your background or, you know, in my case, I'm old British culture. Yeah. And I am stuck in my old British ways and I can't really fucking help it. Yeah. I'm like British. It's like, no, I fucking ain't. Because that's my, see that? That's my British attitude. It just snuck out then. I can't help it. ATH highway to, ooh. Oh, I got all those probably, or none of them. Highway, look at the squirrel. Yeah. So, hey, highway, oh, look at the squirrel. We are just souls in meat suits. Yeah, well, you got to protect your soul, though. And some people say there's not a soul, don't they? I think there is a soul on an energy. An energy lives forever. Energy cannot be destroyed. And energy is information, which is the information necessary to produce this weird avatar. So, but it's all groovy. I'm quite happy with it all anyway. Could have been a lot worse. So, Water, good to see you. Sea Clover, thank you. Coverload, Jay Coverload, thanks for your input, bro. Or bro sister. So, so Mutton. Tube mills. I have seen that. I think John Levy once posted about they could have been milling technologies, but I don't know. Goodies, goody Gary. Yeah, the goodies were fucking awesome. Bring back the goodies reality. Yeah, giant Dylan dogs chasing you and Ecky Thump beating people with a black pudding. Okay, I don't mean that in a rude way. I love Britain, even like the weather. Right, vibes. When I hang out, I went earlier. There was a nice Indian lady, and she put me right on that because I was having a little moan about I'm not in Spain anymore. It's fucking horrible. It's Britain. Everyone stinks. Everyone's unhealthy. Mo. Which brought it to my attention that, yeah, but you get those lovely little things in Britain, like when you're freezing your ass off and you get home and there's a nice cup of hot tea waiting for you and some digestive biscuits. See, if it's boiling hot outside, and because you're stuck in, because it's bastard freezing outside, you get a chance to do your work. So if I'm outside sunning, I'm not inside working. See, so it's good for content and it's good for footage and writing stuff down, which is what I do all day. Sit there with a pad like this, and anything that comes to mind, I write it down, and I think, oh, that's good. I'll expand upon that or not. These are all my today ideas for what I was going to talk about today, which I didn't talk about any of them really. So, user, good to see you. The myth of Medusa is when the sun, it's a discharge plaza. Are you aware of that narrative? And it does look like it in pictures. So it's that. Everybody. Amy, good to see you. Oops, reverse that. Okay, just walk backwards. I'm walking backwards for Christmas. Fabulous as always. Thank you for your kind comment. I love British autumn. It's lovely with the colours and the crisp air. Well, it is. And I got like Virginia Creeper over there, Chris. And look, it's just with the sunset hits, it goes really bright red. So there's them beautiful colours and that. But it's like not having the sun on you. And but like Britain's been really mild. I can't imagine ever having like 1980 snow again or anything like that. And it doesn't get proper cold anymore. So there's that. Yeah, I'm quite happy with being British. There's a lot of good things to be said about it. And if it wasn't such a weird society, you know, we wouldn't have the attitude we have and have so much success with taking the world over and shit and ruling the world and stuff like they do, yeah. Oh, look, here Stan was a wanker. I miss my digestive McVitie's. I got some digestive McVitie's and I put in cheese on them, but I can't find adequate manky cheese. I want to get some of that. I'm going to have to go to town and get some decent cheese. Can't find fucking decent cheese around here. Lidl's don't do shit around here. Love from good old world Salzburg. Oh, that's nice. I got some great photos of Salzburg that I have presented. Staying present is difficult. Oh, it is. It is. Thank you for that. Yeah, I've been drifting off, and I am getting older, and I've got all of these survivalistic mechanisms with me. One of which is bang, shutting off the world, which I can do. I think you learn that when you're a young father. When I was 21 years of age, I was bringing up 3 kids, and they were boys. So I'd baby, and they'd be rioting outside, and like boys were really fucking naughty. So I was always police and stuff. And I had a lot to put up with, I must admit, especially when I was working as well. So I learned this, you know, fathers do. You learn this mechanism for shutting off the brats so you can live your freaking life. So I managed it. Why anyone would have children is beyond me. But there you go. Knock yourself out. Making them's great fucking fun. But fucking hell, later. Whew. Anyway. Amen to that. You know it. Fucking hell. Morgan. Tell it like it is, bruv. We are just having a little holiday on Earth. Listen. I'm happy. And you've got to be grateful for whatever it is. Yeah? Because you could wake up dead. And then what would you do? So, fuck me, I'm dead. I can't even pick up my kettle to make coffee. Shit, I want a coffee. Oh, shit. The spliff's falling through my fucking fingers because I'm a ghost. It might not be that shit. And they might have, like, crypto weed, dead weed for dead people. Don't worry about it. You're already in the afterlife. Yeah, did you hear about that cheese factory getting blown up, Lurpak? There was debris everywhere. Don't worry. That's no joke. Cheese jokes are always the best. A bit cheesy, though. Anyway, much love to you all. Have a fantastic rest of your day and a fantastic week to come. And like I said, make sure to keep an eye on my channel for more juice impending. Okay. They broke the molds when they made you, Martin. No. I'm the remedy for mundaneness. I like Lidl's Welsh mature cheddar. I do, Hippie. That's what I got at the moment. And I got a bit of Stilton, but it ain't strong. I want strong manky cheese. That's what I want. Get rid of the mank. Perhaps the Romans, being the weakest and most gullible, were the first to be conquered by the parasites. Very possibly, Ted, trucking nerd. Very possibly just that. And made to row their boats. I love Britain, but I'm happy you're in Spain. I'm not surprised with your bloody weather, and your food is fantastic too. Everything's yummy in Spain. It's like the opposite of Britain. But the thing is like we got a really old culture here in Britain. It's like, you know, America's on about like minute 1. We've been doing this like 10 years. I mean, we had been doing culture a long time now in Britain, so we got it down. How to oppress your people, how to keep them enslaved, how to get them to consent like bitches over anything. They got it down. And the people of Britain are like, wah, wah. Alicante's lovely. So, yeah, I can't wait to go back to Spain next year. They got a new visa thing put in place as of October, though, I did see. But, yeah, I'm going to do an event next year, get back over there. And if I was rich, I would definitely live in Spain if I could. Freaking hell, I would. There's lots of Brits down there, although I avoid them. No offense, but fucking hell. Not going to bloody Spain to hang around. with what I'm running away from. I often wondered, they don't tell us the truth about history and lies are unreal. Well, that's the most important thing, David Jones, is to know where you come from, to know where you're going. And the people that we come from, or the species that we come from, were infinitely powerful. And they tell us that we're just, you know, specks on a blue dot in infinite space with nothing, worthless. And then there's all of these philosophies of, you know, soul trap. All of it's just seems like, if you buy into any of it, it is fucking literally no win. There's a no win. It's just every single avenue with that mode of thinking is a no win. Okay, what you have to think is that there is a divine force at play, and you should trust the plan and just go with it. That's what I think. And not worry, no matter how bumpy it gets. And not worry about what they're doing either, because that's not about us. And if they want to act like twats, let them act like twats. As long as they don't come up to you acting like a twat, that's all you've got to worry about. But if you think in the realms of that person won't come near me and act like a twat, then they won't, because that's how this reality works. Hiya, Liddy, love. Good to see you. So, yeah. But it is a difficult place to navigate, admittedly. But, you know, some people have been doing it a lot longer than others. And I've been here a long time. In this realm, doing most things. Oh, thank you, Mr. Mop. And thank you, New West Reset. And thank you, is that Amy? Yeah. Holy Roman Empire Association website. Yeah, right. So, yeah, dodgy as fuck. Bobby Poppin, thank you for being here. And Gah, just imagine being a ghost. Imagine all the other ghosties. Yeah, so what you got to do, Gary, is next time you go down to the store, look at all the other people around you, yeah, because they are dead. They're ghosts. Everyone's dead. They're in hell. Remember? So don't worry about it. I know they look alive, but they're not really. Just follow the be nice religion. Okay. Whatever religion that is. It's these cults, it is. They just creepy. Anyway, love you all. Take it easy. Have a good, be kind. There you are. Above all, be kind if you can. Make the effort to be kind. Some people are more natural than others, I've noticed. Ghosts in flesh. There you are. And they tell us as well within the law that we are dead entities, cryptid. And we're all necrophiliacs, apparently. Oh, we got Aberdare in the house. Is that in Taff? Good to see you. James Jenkins. Fine Welsh name, that is, James. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Kath. Thanks, Ad. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to dive off. It's getting late here in the UK. Okay. Boom Shankar. And I'll see you on the next one. Fucking Romans.